If you have two people interviewing for a job at your company and both people have the same academic background, they have the same experiences, but one is way more energetic and fit and the other one is weak, lethargic, and just has lazy tendencies, who would you pick, right? It's normal things and we all know who would pick. So more energy is the number one advantage of being healthy and fit. Number two. Hi, my name is Mo Gayas. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning and sharing the lessons with you because growing up, I wish I had someone like me to help me out. On the Healthy Systems podcast, you will learn one main idea, system from each episode that you can use in your life, whether that is financial, relationships, fitness, and wellness. So if you're a millennial, you're hyper ambitious, this podcast is for you because the more systematic your life is, the more you can win and not waste time. So join me on your journey to building a life of healthy systems for yourself. Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo. And today's episode is on fitness and how I've been a fat kid and I've been a fit adult. And I choose fit every single time. So today I'm going to give you 5 benefits of living a healthy and lean lifestyle. You see, in my 20s, actually since the age of about 13, 14, I started gaining fat. And I remember in those teen years, I just felt overweight. I would come back from school and I would do a lot of push-ups just because the idea of having belly fat annoyed me. I literally was like, man, how can I lose these fat rolls, right? And that was my childhood. I remember even graduating, even finishing 10th grade and having summer vacation, I got a gym membership. And I went to that gym. The only reason for that gym membership was to help me lose belly fat. And at that time, I also started working at McDonald's because I wanted to help my family out, and getting a job was the smart decision. So I got a job at McDonald's. Now I'm getting the free meals, for lunch and all those McDonald's, crispy chicken sandwiches and fries. So I'm gaining fat while going to the gym, and the belly fat is not going down. And to be honest with you, when I'm at the gym, I had no idea what I was doing, right? I would look at what other guys were doing. I would run on the treadmill for a little bit. I was just clueless. And then I remember the gym membership was around $40 back in 2010. And that was a lot for me. So I remember after a couple of months, I canceled it. I was like, I'm not getting results and I don't know what I'm doing. So I canceled it. And it took many years later when I finally hired a coach and a trainer and I understood how it all worked. But in that time, the point I'm making is from the age of 15 till 20, I just kept gaining fat and I had no control over it. I would go for runs. I was one of those kids that was willing to do whatever it took to lose that fat. Problem was I didn't have the right strategy. And when you don't have the right strategy, you do something for certain days and couple of days and couple of weeks maybe, and then you run out of fuel. And then life takes over, you get distracted. I would be, college would get busy, classes would get busy. Then I'll be like, man, staying fit is just not a priority right now. Let me just get good grades for calculus, right? Let me just focus on that. So once I turned 21, which was almost 10 years ago now, 21 was that age when I got abs for the first time. Because at the age of 20, I tore my ACL, I got injured, put me in the hospital, and the doctor had me go through physical therapy. And that physical therapy was all about strength training and strengthening my leg muscles. And I remember I just fell in love with it. I was like, man, this is what I love. And my physical therapist would always say I was the most upbeat client she's ever had or patient she's ever had. And I was like, I love this. So I remember talking to my orthopedic surgeon and telling him, I was like, Dr. Martin, if I start going to the gym on my own and hire a coach and I get my legs stronger on my own, would you let me out of physical therapy earlier than 6 months or whatever? He goes, totally. He's like, I'll re-examine you. And if your quad muscles are strong enough, I will totally be like, yeah, you don't need to go to physical therapy anymore. And physical therapy at the location was about 30-minute drive from college. And I don't like driving there. And so guess what happened? I ended up learning how to squat properly. And I worked with a coach and we got really strong. And I went back to Dr. Martin a month later and he goes, how'd you build all this leg muscle? He's like, you've been squatting, haven't you? And I was like, yeah. He goes, good work. He's like, you're clear. You're good to go. But that was my 21st birthday, and I had 6-pack abs at that point, and I was working with a coach. And ever since then, I've been fit, and that's been a decade of being healthy and fit. So a lot of the teachings I teach, and people often tell me, Mo, why are you so passionate? But it's so I love how you speak. And I think a lot of it comes from just being that kid that for 5, 6 years he was struggling. Like I wish that like anytime I would see somebody that was like in shape at the swimming pool or like a bro at the gym, and I would ask them questions. I'm like, how did you do it? What exercise do you do? Like I would be so curious, right? I wanted to learn what they were doing. And then once I figured it out, I made it my moral obligation to teach it to others and coach others. And I think through training with the Titans, we've coached close to over 1,000 people now, and we're building a team. And the goal is to keep making this impact because I think health and fitness is by far the most foundational thing you can give a person to improve the quality of their life, right? Like so often people go to personal development conferences, they read personal development books, and I love all of them. But if they just improved their health and fitness, I think the impact they would have in their quality of life would be 10x more than going to another Tony Robbins event. And God knows I love Tony. Tony's a homie, but even he would tell you fitness is by far the biggest thing you can do to improve the quality of your life. So now, why the benefits, I guess, like the 5 benefits of being healthy and fit. Number one, more energy. The reason I can work long hours, the reason I can coach a lot of clients, the reason you see a lot of people, a lot of CEOs, they regularly go to the gym, they're healthy, they're fit, right? If you look at JP Morgan Chase, I was listening to one of his Jamie Dimon's interview. He's the CEO of the biggest bank in the world. JP Morgan Chase, they bank governments. They bank the Federal Reserve. They bank, not the Federal Reserve, they bank the IMF, right? The International Monetary Fund. So it's like the scale of that bank is like just in trillions every day. They're moving trillions of dollars every day. And the CEO of that company is Jamie Dimon. Jamie talks about his fitness routine, right? Like how he stays fit. And all of these like top tier elite CEOs of some of the biggest companies in the world ever. Like some of the revenues these companies do, like humans haven't done that ever in the past history, right? So the point I'm making is these people that are at such high level, they take care of their health. And I think the biggest advantage being healthy and being fit gives you is that you have more energy. When you're healthy and lean, what it means is you have more energy throughout the day. You have more energy at your work. You're not as sluggish. You can get things done, right? That just gives you a huge advantage in life. So first advantage is you have more energy, right? Like if you look at, imagine you're dating somebody and you have 2 options. One person is more energetic and the other person is very low on energy and always lethargic. Who would you pick? If you have 2 people interviewing for a job at your company and both people have the same academic background, they have the same experiences, but one is way more energetic and fit and the other one is weak, lethargic, and just has lazy tendencies, who would you pick, right? It's normal things, and we all know who would pick. So more energy is the number one advantage of being healthy and fit. Number two, this is the one that's very underrated, which is better mood. Better mood. When you exercise, you release endorphins, which makes you feel happier and positive. Okay. So you can say goodbye to mood swings and you can have a very consistent good mood. And you pair exercise with proper nutrition. Now you understand that, hey, if I eat healthy, I feel even better. So you realize like why people who eat healthy, they can sustain that and they enjoy it and they almost turn into like this very regimented, disciplined person is because they know how good they feel after they go for that run. They know how good they feel after they have a good, healthy, high protein meal, right? So more energy, better mood. Third one is better confidence. Who don't like confident people, right? Almost every time I work with clients, I have them do a vision board exercise of what they want their best version of themselves to be. And every time, every client, without a miss, wants to be more confident. And exercise and eating healthy and just living a healthy lifestyle, one of the biggest advantages it has is that it improves your self-confidence because you can keep promises to yourself. You see, when you're out of shape, you're overweight, even yourself doesn't trust you. It doesn't trust you with food. It doesn't trust you to exercise. It doesn't trust you with hydration. It doesn't trust you with sleep, right? Because you're not a trustworthy person even to yourself. And the hardest thing is the hardest thing in the universe is to lie to yourself because you cannot. Like the way God made us is we have to be honest with ourselves because like you can't lie to yourself. So the biggest thing I want you to always be improving on is your own relationship with yourself. And that when you exercise and eat healthy and you turn into that athlete who's always pushing harder and going a step further and just getting 1% better every day, you will have such high self-esteem because your own self deep down in your soul trusts you. They like your self knows. Like This is a person that can be trusted. And a lot of the time, when we've been out of shape for so long, we stop taking pictures, we stop dressing nice, we stop wearing fitted clothes. Why? Because you have low self-esteem now. Your self-confidence has gone down to such low bandwidth. Why do you think people like overweight people make fun of people who take selfies all the time? Because people who take selfies have a higher self-esteem. They like looking at themselves. They're proud of who they are. The prettiest girls take more picture, right? The guys that dress nice and the model types, they take more pictures of themselves. Why? Because they're proud of who they've created, who they have built, right? Health and fitness doesn't come naturally. You actually have to like work on it. You have to train, you have to wake up, you have to do things for it, right? And that's why no matter how good Ozempic is or all these other drugs and the pills in the market are, at the end of the day, they're not as beneficial to your own self as exercise and nutrition is, right? So when you focus on nutrition and exercise, the benefits are like 10x better than if you were to take a pill and get the same body. You wouldn't even respect yourself. If I gave you a pill that was like, hey, drink this, you'll have six-pack abs, I promise you, even with that six-pack ab, you'll still be like, okay. Like your self-confidence will not go up, your overall image of yourself will not go up, your self-esteem will not go up. It's the process that makes it fun. It's the process that gives you that confidence. The process of going to the gym or training in your house, the process of like getting after it day after day and sticking with it and doing the check-ins with your coach and learning and learning and learning. That process is what makes you that. And I can give you an example. When you went to high school, freshman year to senior year, right? When you got that degree at the end of that graduation on that graduation day, it wasn't the degree that you were probably the most proud of. It was the person you became. It's the years of going to school. It's the years of sticking to the task at hand. It was the years of like just showing up every day, whether it was snowing, whether it was raining, you went to school. You got it done. You did the homework, whether you wanted to do it or not. And that process is what gives you self confidence, right? That's the whole game. So improve confidence. And then number four is better health. When you maintain a healthier weight, your chances of chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, all of those, boom, 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 they go down by a lot, by a lot. So if you're somebody that's like 5'4" right now and you're over 220 pounds or even over 200 pounds, chances are you're borderline all of those diseases. So the next time you go to your doctor, they might inform you of the bad news that, hey, now you have diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, all of those things. And those are not fun because they're going to put you on medications. And the medical system, the way it's set up, they're not going to tell you to go exercise because they're afraid you might get offended and sue the doctor. So they won't even tell you the actual news. What they would tell you is like, hey, take this medication every day. And then you'll be taking that medication. And the thing with medications is without lifestyle change, they'll continue to increase the dose. Because if it's not improving, the doctor is not going to tell you to exercise. They'll tell you, hey, I'm going to put you on a different, stronger medication. And then you're stuck in that loop for decades, right? So the couple of things I've talked about is the benefits of being healthy, more energy, better mood, improved confidence, because you can keep promises to yourself, better health. And then the last one, enhanced performance. Enhanced performance. You will perform better at work, in the gym, in the daily activities, even with your spouse. So, like all of these things, enhanced performance goes a long way. You'll be a better son. You'll be a better father. You'll be a better husband. You'll be a better wife. You'll be a better sister. All of those things, like literally improve just because you're healthy. And all of those things decline when you're unhealthy and you're overweight. So at the end of the day, I hope I've sold you on being healthy. You see, I'll give you a really good story. When I was 24, 25 years old, I think at that time I was competing in powerlifting. Fitness was like a big lifestyle for me. It still is. And at that time, this is like 5 years ago. And I was in healthcare consulting. So I would work with hospitals all across America. And yeah, I would wear a suit to work and I always look like people always like could talk to me about whatever. And a lot of the time, people would give me more importance than my colleagues. And sometimes the colleagues would get offended. But then it was like that didn't matter. Who cares if people get offended because the results were the results. And I think a lot of the time, and all of our, colleagues were all like equally qualified. But like a lot of the time, doctors and CEOs of the hospitals would like smile and try to be my friends, whereas like with them, it was just a very work relationship. There was a lot of factors to it, but I think the biggest one was I was the most in shape person there. And one time, I'll give you an example. One time we were in Chicago working with a hospital there, and this one doctor, she was a oncologist, so she was a cancer specialist. She comes in. My first coworker, she talks to her. That doctor completely ignores her. My second coworker, he was a male in his mid 50s or like 40s, like pretty fit dude. He talked to her. She like totally ignores. An hour later, I go and I talk to her, and like she literally just like smiled and like totally just had a very different outlook to me than she did to the other two. And we had the conversation, and she ended up like just not only like helping us with our project, but she was like very kind, and it was almost like she wanted to stay friends after. And we were laughing about it. And my colleagues, my the male Adam, he looked at me. He goes, "Man, like you have this glow about you that people are attracted to." And as a 25-year-old, I didn't know what that glow meant. But as I did more research, I'm like, man, but I was like fat and overweight. Nobody told me I had that glow. Nobody cared. Now I have that glow. I'm like, what changed? And the biggest thing that changed was my fitness level. I would wake up every morning and I would train and I would take care of my health, and I was more energetic. I had a big smile on my face. I was ready to go. And evolutionary humans can sense that. So at the end of the day, if you want people to say that you have a glow about you, that there's this resonance, there's this charisma about you, I promise you, when you're fat and overweight, nobody would say that. And they might, which is a very, very rare thing. And I think if you got fit, you would have even more charisma than if you already have. So at the end of the day, you want that rizz, you want that glow. The best way to achieve it is to get in really good shape and just be proud of yourself, train hard. And the best way to be proud of yourself is to do the things you're avoiding right now. And you might be avoiding working with a trainer. You might be avoiding getting in shape. You might be avoiding going to the gym. You might be avoiding eating healthy, right? All of those things can improve your chance of just being good at life. So hopefully this podcast semi-sold you into healthy and fit lifestyle. That's my message. Get healthy, get fit so you can live an amazing life and live a life that you would be proud of, live a life that God would be proud of for you. And I think that's the biggest thing we can do on this earth, because all of our time is limited. We're all going to go one day and nobody would remember us in 100 years. So what's the whole point? Well, the whole point is God gave you this body, this vessel, this health, and it's your job to take care of it. And if you're not taking care of it, I think God would not be proud of you, because God, in my opinion, God hates the lazy. God loves people that are like doing something with his creation. God loves people that are taking action. God loves people that are like imagine being a father and you have two sons and you give them each the same tools, same hand, like all the, same money, same resources. And one son wakes up at 5 a.m. and he's working hard and he's utilizing those resources. And another son just stays asleep till 1 p.m. and just plays video games all day. Who would that father be more proud of? Now imagine being God, who's the father of all, right? Who would God be more proud of? Would he be proud of you for not living up to your full potential? Or would he be proud when he sees you grinding and hustling and trying and progressing and pushing through those runs and working hard and building your side hustles and your businesses or climbing the corporate ladder, whatever your thing is? God loves people that aim for their potential. So live the highest potential, go for the extraordinary, because you deserve it. And if you're listening to this podcast 20 minutes in, let's get in shape. And if you're struggling, your boy Mo is here. That's what I do for a living. I eat those problems for breakfast. Reach out. I got you. We'll guide you. And whether is working with us is the best choice or not, either way, I'll hook you up with some resources to get you started, because I know how much this would change your life. So I hope this podcast helps. If you want more content like this, let me know. We'll create more. And until next time, I'll see you then. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in Apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word healthy systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.